So I was telling, I will repeat again. If there has been no trouble in our life till now, then we should understand that life hasn't started yet. And if we are still afraid of getting into trouble, then we should understand that we aren't grown up yet. Without suffering, there is no growth. And suffering is not actually suffering. Because we don't like it, we are giving the name suffering. See, we all have kids at our home. And when we give them bath, right? A small child of 2 years, we are giving that child a bath. And we are just rubbing the soap on its body. It is suffering for that kid. It is suffering. But do you think that that is suffering? Do we think that that is suffering? No. So enlightened people know that that is not suffering. But we don't know that that is not suffering. The God is rubbing soap on our body. He is just taking out all the waste material. He is just rinsing our body out of that waste material. But we are feeling that I am being tested. No, we are not being tested. We are being cleansed. Then how God will be able to see? When a kid doesn't cooperate, then the bathing time will take 10 to 12 minutes. If it cooperates, it will get completed in 5 minutes. So who prolonged the suffering? If my suffering is going for 5, 10 years, who prolonged it? So suffering is a blessing. But I agree, when we are suffering, we cannot remember these things. These things doesn't get into our mind at that time. Because we don't live on only one existence, that our body. We live at several existence. So if we know about our existence, if the three major breakups, what are those breakups? One is our body, second is our mind, third one is what we call soul. We don't have the knowledge about it, but we assume it that yes, there is something like soul. So body, mind, and soul. So whatever the suffering is being experienced, it's only happening at the level of the mind. It's not at the level of the body. Body gets hurt, body feels pain, but that is limited. That is natural and limited to certain extent. But as we understand it, the suffering is not from the body, suffering is from the mind. And whenever we go into the suffering, we forget everything. We forget all the knowledge. So who forgets the knowledge? Our mind forgets the knowledge. Now, there is one other faculty of our mind is called intellect, बुद्धि. मन कभी भी स्नान करना नहीं चाहेगा, मन कभी भी अपना मैल हटाना नहीं चाहेगा, लेकिन आत्मा रूपी भगवान, soul, our soul God consciousness will always make us bath. Why? Because it wants to be pure. It wants us to be pure. It wants us to be live in healthy lifestyle. So it will not spare us. God, or higher consciousness or soul will not spare us. So it wants to clean that dirt. So suffering is must. But mind, that is a child, will never like it. But there is intellect, another faculty, intellect. So whatever whatever we are discussing now, that will go into our intellect. Mind will forget, mind will not remember it, but our intellect will remember. Why it will remember? If we trust this. If we want to trust these things, what we are discussing now, if our intellect is ready to trust it, and if our intellect is ready to follow it, then during this time of suffering, our intellect will appear and it will say that this is for my good, this is for my betterment, and I must be present here, I must stay here, I shouldn't run away. And if there we listen to our intellect, because now there is a choice whether we are listening to the intellect or mind. Sometimes mind will win. Mind will say, it will bring all proofs. How can I suffer from this silly thing? Or why we should suffer? Why we haven't taken birth to get suffering? Or all people are not suffering, why me? So there are so many proofs and reasons for the mind to escape, to run away. It will pose so many questions. Why my luck is like that? Why my karmas are like that? Because under that umbrella, it want to be feel secured. It want to feel that I am the victim. And it will stay there in that safe zone. And it will always try to pull us. And because we get attached to our mind, or we get identified with our mind, naturally we start thinking like that. And no amount of wisdom, no amount of knowledge can help us during that time. Even knowledge will become another burden. If you are in sorrow and if someone come and give you some knowledge, he or she will become a villain for you. So whatever the knowledge or wisdom we are gaining, we must put trust on it. And we should believe that yes, this is going to take me to the farther level. It will help me to cross this suffering. If a kid doesn't allow the doctor to put a plaster, will his fracture leg heal? No, never. So if we trust our intellect, if we trust on the wisdom that has been given by the saints, by the scriptures, if we trust on it, and if we stay there firmly, and if we become available to the suffering, previously suffering was coming, was chasing us. Now we are becoming available to the suffering. Yes, come on, please. This is the attitude. And see with this attitude what power you have. See the upliftment in your mind you have. The suffering will just vanish because it has no power. It is an illusion. Suffering is an illusion. Suffering is an illusion, just as a kid not allowing its mother to make him or give him a bath. So suffering is an illusion. And even if it's an illusion, we can say it's a better illusion because it's not a suffering, it's a blessing. So I have conveyed the message. Now you can share your comments. I think my English was good.
Yes.
Anyone wants to say something, or can we discuss on another topic or whatever? Again about suffering, let me say something more about suffering. हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा गया है, बोला गया है, दुख का कारण है अविद्या. The reason for suffering is the absence of knowledge. And what is this absence of knowledge is? Which knowledge? Only one knowledge. Not knowing who am I. When I don't know who I am, I suffer. Suppose in a police station, suppose a person wakes up in the morning and he happened to be in a police station, and now he's thinking, he's getting baffled, where am I? And he's just thinking why I am here. He doesn't know anything. And suppose he starts feeling that, oh, I think I have done something wrong. I have done uh, some robbery or something like that, and I have been called upon here in the police station. Now they will put me in the jail. He's just thinking in his mind, and he's just suffering. What is suffering? His suffering is thinking, not the situation. We are suffering or thinking and not the situation, because he just happened to be there in the police station. No, nothing has happened, but he is thinking in his mind and is suffering. And suppose now he is very much uh, sad and gloomy, and some wise person happens to be there, and why are you sad? He asks, why are you sad? So he is telling that why I'm here, why I have been called here, they will put me in the jail. So that white person, but first you just inquire, no? Who are you here in the police station? Who are you? And suppose he happens, then he inquires, and he happens to know that he himself is the police. Then what will happen? So till that moment, he was just suffering because he was not knowing who he is. So this is why it's very much important to know who am I. And this is the base of the spirituality. This is the first and the last question of the spirituality. The spirituality starts with who am I and ends with I am. And in between, whatever we gain is all the play. It's all drama. Whatever we will gain, we have to lose. Whether it's wealth or it's knowledge. Whatever we gain, we have to lose. If we accumulate, we are foolish. Whether it's wealth or it's knowledge. The comment is, what should be the right answer for who am I? Every answer for the question who am I will be wrong. Should I say it once again? Every answer for the question who am I will be wrong answer. This question doesn't have any answer. This question only have realization, no answer. If someone claims that I know who am I, then we must understand that he doesn't know who he is. This is the paradox. Irony. Yeah, you can say I am a medium. But why we should be a medium, no? What we want to pass? what we wish to pass from us? Nothing. So this what I am speaking is about the higher spirituality. Okay. So you don't have to take it as if that we don't know or we don't understand. No, please don't take it. I don't know why all these things are coming. I don't know. Someone is sitting here who is needing this knowledge, and that knowledge is coming for that very particular person, and that person knows that this knowledge is coming for me. So there are stages for the higher spiritual knowledge, but we don't have to worry about that. It's very simple. It's very simple. Whenever we go to a school, we have an I-card. Whenever we go to a office, we have an I-card. Everywhere, everywhere we move with the identity, right? So why we lose our identity here in the whole universe? When we are in this universe, there we have some identity in this universe. So we have to find out that our original identity, and that is what is who I am, or who you are, or who we are, all the same. In a school, everyone is a student, right? Right? In a school, everyone is student. In hospital, everyone is a patient, right? Except doctors, right? So likewise in universe, we are all same. When I am talking from the perspective of universe, we all are same. But now what we are same as what? When we look at each other, our faces are different, our noses are different, our eyes are different, our personality is different, our thinking is different, our knowledge is different, everything is different. Then where are we same? Where is that same factor in us? Now we will call soul. हाँ, soul is same. कहाँ आता पता है हमारे अपने सोल का? जो भी बोल देते हैं मेरी सोल, मेरी आत्मा, क्या हमें अता पता भी है उसका? We always live with the mind, from the mind, through the mind, and with the mind, and we claim ourselves as a soul with the mind. That's not possible. So when we say I am the soul, I am higher, I am connected with higher consciousness, it's all foolish and all rubbish. But we can say in the beginning, we must say, I am not rejecting anything. I am just making aware that we don't have to stop here. I got connected with the God. There is one idol in my home temple. I got connected with that idol. I am rose doing that seva, archana, puja to that idol. But it should not be limited to that only. My spirituality, my religiousness, my bhakti should not be limited to that only. That reflection should come into my heart. That reflection should come into my mind. This is what I want to speak about. So please, I end here. Anyone wants to say something, please say. Please don't be speechless. इतना गंभीर नहीं होना है ना? बिल्कुल गंभीर नहीं होना है. ये नहीं समझना है कि हमें क्या नहीं पता. हमें ये समझना है कि अरे हमें कुछ नहीं पता. I don't understand anything. I don't know anything. This is the liberation. ये पता होना ही सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. पता नहीं होना सबसे बड़ी लिबरेशन. So we don't have to be serious. Even after understanding everything, we have to throw away all the understanding. That capacity we need. ज्ञान का बोझा लेके नहीं चलना है, नहीं तो प्रॉब्लम से ज्यादा ज्ञान खतरनाक है. A person suffering is far better than a knowledgeable person. because he has limited suffering. But a wrong knowledge can give immense suffering. Life after life, he cannot escape from that. So knowledge should be only that much which is required to moment. क्षण क्षण में जितना चाहिए उतना ही हमें नॉलेज होना चाहिए. ये सब मतलब हो, जैसे कहते हैं स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज होना भी चाहिए, लेकिन उसको रखना नहीं है. फिर उसमें से जितना उपयोग करना है उतना ही करना है. We have a store room, right, at our home. All the spices are stored there. All the grains are stored there. But how much we use every day? Only what we require. So using those things only as per requirement is wisdom. Yes, Lakshmi, please.
Yeah, Kamlesh, I have a very small doubt. Say, for example, there is a person or there is an incident which happens, and because of that incident, a person is getting suffered. And the suffering is not only for the person, but also the people around him or her. So, how do you relate this when the mistake is not on your part and still you're suffering for that? So, how could you relate with this?
First thing, that when I am the part of the mistake, and then suffering is happening, then also that suffering is not the suffering. It is happening because just of the lack of the knowledge. I am not in the knowledge. Even in that case. Now you are asking, suffering is happening because of the mistake of others. Okay? So where am I there in the picture? I am nowhere in the picture. Can you give one best example? It will be more clear.
Mm, what would I say? Say, for example, like my uncle had lent a house for
Hmm.
rent,
Hmm.
and it's more than 40 years he has been fighting for the house.
Okay.
The tenant was not ready to vacate the
Hmm.
house. No,
Hmm.
no, he was some there were some issues going on.
Hmm. Hmm.
But my uncle was very innocent.
Hmm.
But he had filed the case since 40 years, and just 2 days before he had won the
Hmm.
case.
Hmm.
So for this past 40
Hmm.
years, he has been walking down and behind the case, he has been going,
Hmm.
spending money,
Hmm.
this, that, and mentally
Okay.
and emotionally,
Got
his
it.
family is.
Got
So
it.
he there nowhere was his mistake.
Got it. Now what we have learned, that my suffering is my blessing. Have we learned this? We got satisfied that my suffering is my blessing. Are you satisfied with this learning? Do you have this conviction that my suffering is my blessing? Do you have this conviction? Your suffering. I am asking about your suffering. Do you have this conviction that my suffering is a blessing for me? Yes or no?
But when I don't do a mistake or when I'm
No,
not
no, no.
committing a
I will
mistake,
come to
then
that point. I will come to that point. Suppose you have done a mistake and you are suffering.
mm,
So is it a blessing for you or not? Do we have this conviction that yes, it's a blessing for me? Okay, then when your uncle is suffering, is that suffering is blessing for your uncle or not? Right? It's a blessing for him. Our ego is trying to catch all that things. See, everyone has to go through their karmas. If we are not, if we are not allowed, if we are not spared from our karmas, how can other person be spared? Karma, law of karma. Okay, tell me, should law of karma be merciful? Should law of karma be merciful? Everyone would say yes, it should be merciful. Little bit it should be merciful, no? मरते को क्यों मारे? But it should not be merciful. Why? Why it should not be merciful? Suppose you from last 10 years you are planning to buy a new house and you are accumulating some money, wealth. Okay, so should you get the result or not? Should you get the home or not? Okay, so Can karma say that no, you cannot buy your home, you accumulated 10 lakh rupees, you need a new house, but can karma say no, you can't get, I will take away 1 lakh rupees from you? Would you like it? No. It should give the 100% result. So when it should favor in positive, why should not it act 100% in negative? It should act 100%. Why एक भी रुपया मत लेना भाई, एक भी रुपया मत बचाना. If karma is coming that pay me 100 rupees, yes, take 100 rupees, not 99 rupees 99 paise. Please take 100 rupees. Suffering is the play of our ego. It wants to suffer, and we cannot do anything by suffering. Your uncle will have to go after the case. Your uncle will have to do all those things. By just becoming gloomy or sad, you are not going to change anything in his life. But if you accept, if you are in wisdom, if you are in positivity, and if you go to your uncle, and if only you talk to him for just 2 minutes, what he will get? He will get charged up. That's the good thing you are going to do with him. So meetings is where now just 5 minutes away to its final destination. I think this session सारे 7-8 हिंदी सेशन को 6 बाउंड कर दिया. This one session. I will not share recording. Those who came. बस हो गया. Anyone wants to say something? Just 4 minutes left. So many people, no? Today 15 people have joined. Shiny has come for the first time, I think. Ramya ji, Manjusha ji, Mamta, Dr. Nitesh, Cherry, Anjali ji, Rupanjali.
You have said that who are we? So how do we know who are we?
No, who are we? No, wrong question.
Who am I?
Yes, only one question. We don't know about anyone else. आजू में कौन है, बाजू में कौन है, क्या पता? Who am I? That is the right question.
So how do we know who am I?
In Shastras, there are one, Adi Shankaracharya gave one technique. Neti, na iti. I am not this. Okay, so make a list. What you feel, who you are. Suppose you feel that I am Rupanjali, I am this body, I am a mother, I am a sister, whatever it is. Make a list, and then cross out which you are not. Because if you are mother, even you are not mother for the whole lifetime. In the sense, before 22 years, you weren't a mother. Before 20 years, you weren't a wife. So you are never everything all the time. You are not a boss when you are at home, or subordinate when you are at home. So whatever the role you are playing, all these are the roles. So just cut down. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. And what remains, which cannot be cut? Something should remain, no? And that we cannot cut it. So we have to reach there by neti process. Be here, be in the group. Slowly and gradually everything will come, because we need so many things. We need patience, we need steadiness of the mind. Our mind is flickering so much. We need bliss, we need positive bliss. आनंद चाहिए वो, है ना? We need bliss for getting connected. सबसे बड़ा है धन संतुष्टि. Satisfaction is the most valuable wealth in this universe. If you want to take away anything from this session, then take away satisfaction. Drop all your questions. At the end of the session, discard all the questions and just focus on what you got from this session and get satisfied, and see where this satisfaction brings you at the core of your heart. and you will feel that stillness. I think most of the people are feeling it. Can you give me a thumbs up? There is a confusion and there is a stillness. Both are there at the same time. Confusion because not the total answer. We didn't get the whole answer. So mind is confused, but heart is at the peace.
No, no.
Ah,
Yeah.
right?
I'm satisfied with the answer.
Okay. So
Whatever I
meeting is,
have got. Okay.
yeah, meeting is just going. So okay, write your comments in the group. Say whatever you want to share in the group. Okay. Please share your experiences, and thank you all